It do be like that. It do be like that.
It is indeed.
All right. Welcome, everybody. How are y'all doing today?
Oh, good. This is podcast number 101.
Good to see y'all here.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, my God. 101.
Podcasts.
Yeah, we came back from our break from the last podcast.
Yes.
Had some good family time there. It was awesome. We got some new follows here. The Chief Wahoo, Cardinal Canis, Finks 96, Absolute Bex, and Humanius. Thank you so much for the follows, everybody. Glad to have you here.
Oh,
hey,
boy.
So, Amju, the Danger Zone, and the Mommy Cthulhu. Awesome. Good to see you here. Wait, in the spirit of mental health.
Yeah. And that wasn't from the Mommy Cthulhu. That's
right. It seems
there
very,
you go. Wouldn't you know it?
Very much like the influence of Cthulhu has spread through Twitch chat to affect
that's right.
others as well.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Veperude, thank you so much for the follow.
Ah, yes, mental health. Watch Death Note to learn how it's okay to be a sociopath. No. I mean, if you are a sociopath, then all the best wishes
goes out
our
to
heart
you.
goes out to you. And
That's gotta be tough.
And okay, but on that note, I mean, because we're talking mental health. There were so many times growing up where I looked up like how to tell if you're a psychopath, like, because I was legitimately concerned. I was like, oh God, like,
right,
yeah.
Like Jacob and I, we're gonna be talking a lot about like some personal stories, some anime that we have had like cool stories and stuff with, and then we'll be discussing those anime, and then looking for things from you guys that are like anime that you'd recommend that have really like interesting discussions or things that have helped in your mental health journey or what have you. But it's a subject matter that I feel like just needs more talking about. We should talk about this way more often. There's too much shame. There's too much like of a stigma against discussing the subject. And I would say also around maybe even specifically guys who aren't like feeling confident enough themselves, like, show no weakness.
Right.
We are strong. Like, I think if anything, that's become less and less of an issue as we become more, modernized and stuff like that. But it's something that I feel like is a really big deal. A lot of guys. Yeah, we're a channel called Semblance of Sanity, and we're going to be talking about mental health. It's a passion of mine specifically, in that long before the channel, I've been very much in the discussion around psychology and wanting to learn as much as I could about the topic. So this is right in line with that. And Jacob has also, you've had like a lot of discussions around with me around the topic as well.
Well, yeah, because like... So I actually see a therapist now, just for like, and originally I thought that was only something to do if you were like, crazy
deep
or
shit or something,
right, suicidal or something like that.
Right.
But it's actually been incredibly helpful for just basically letting me like sort of dump all of that stuff out, right? But also just realizing that there are certain ways of thinking that I've had growing up that are not good, right? And it's it's like clean or changing the oil on your car. You just you take care of yourself. Maintenance, exactly.
Yeah. Mesker one with a Twitch Prime for 11 months. Thank you so much for the sub. Mesker.
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff here. We're going to be engaging with you guys throughout it. But we're gonna keep things wholesome and positive here. So if you're coming here to troll, this is a very sensitive topic with mental health and stuff like that. This isn't gonna be your podcast or what have you. So just saying that right out the gate here and stuff. We're gonna be talking pretty seriously here.
And some of the like the shows that we'll mention here aren't necessarily like ones that or at least for me, that I would personally recommend as like, this will help you with, like this mental health issue or whatever.
Right, some just going to be sharing our story.
Right, sharing our story. Some of them I will be like, okay, this is great, and I think there's a lot of things that it can, these shows might be able to express or teach or, whatever. Right. But a lot of them, it will be a lot of personal experiences and things like that.
Right. Also, we got to give our VIP shout out to Somberloon. Yes. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Hope to see you on the Discord.
Yes.
See you on the Discord soon. All right. So, Podcast 101, animes that are responsible for our mental health issues. in some ways, like, you know, I could bring up Berserk and talk about how, like, yeah, I'm so grateful. Like,
you got trust issues now.
Yeah, I have slight like abandonment issues now.
Well, and what was it? Was the story where after Berserk, where it was like, okay, we were clearly like expecting things to go badly because of how dark and depressing Berserk was, you know? Yeah. And it's like, no, not all stories are like that.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
So each of us had kind of our own specific things that we went on, but one of the things that's been cool, I would say, with the fact that we're brothers, we have certain similarities that complement each other.
Yes.
And in certain areas that are vastly different. So Jacob and I, for whatever it's worth, I don't think there's anything scientific about it, but Jacob and I... are very similar personality-wise. I'm an INFJ on the Myers-Briggs,
right?
And
I'm an INTJ. So like that, our similarities make us, you know, get along very well and be able to have these discussions because we're often thinking on the same wavelengths. But then we'll, you know, and you guys have probably noticed this, those like very particular differences that are very strong differences.
Right. So when we are discussing a lot of these things, a lot of them come from, you know, our, you know, specific views on, you know, X, Y, Z.
Right.
And then those get subconsciously
shared
kind
experiences.
of... Yeah, exactly. Those get subconsciously kind of imported into the discussion. But one of the things that's always been a big deal for me with regards to storytelling and in some ways the portrayal of characters has been identity. And the reason for that is that back a long time ago, it feels so long ago, but it was just high school, basically.
Yeah. Pubertizing.
When I was younger, I moved, well, our whole family moved. And we moved.
Yeah, that's right.
We moved about 60, maybe about 50 miles away. Mm-hmm. And it was because of my dad's work and what have you. There was a whole bunch of financial issues and stuff with the family and things like that, adjustments. And then when that transition happened, I went from like 7 or 8 close friends to 0 friends. Yeah. And all this was happening right at about the time I turned 14. Mm-hmm. So I went through a crisis of identity.
Yeah, because I was 10 at the time.
Yeah, so. You were 10, so you were still like, in the forming process.
Yeah, it didn't affect me as much. But now that I think about it, it's like, oh man, yeah, moving at 14, that's...
Right. So that whole thing basically had me in a crisis of identity. From 14 to 16, I was not clinically depressed at all. Like, I definitely was just more of in a slump, you know. But when I went to go and try and find new friends and stuff, I wasn't able to basically take old Caleb from before and bring it into this new situation here because I had gone through that slump then. Mm-hmm. So when I started making new friends, I became a people pleaser. I tried to basically present the best version of myself that I could so that people would like me. And it was not healthy. It was really not healthy. I basically never got close friends like that until about age 17. So that's about a 3-year period where basically it was video games and just not having friends. I tried sports basically to make friends there, and I sucked at baseball, so people weren't super excited about connecting with me through that.
You were still so much better than me at baseball.
Yeah, but still I sucked. I struck out like 7 times out of 10. Then when I moved to Northern California to go to school for a couple years, it was like there was a reboot opportunity. I got to try this whole adjustment to new friends things all over again. And when that happened, that was when I got introduced to anime by what would then be a good friend of mine over the course of the first few months I was there. And guys, I cannot tell you how important it was that anime was introduced to me right at that transition. So I had like just turned, 18. I'm starting off with, new schooling and stuff. And at that moment, someone introduced me to Bleach, and in the same breath, a little bit before that, actually, Avatar: The Last Airbender. So you have basically the quintessential best kids show of all time, which is basically a bridgeway to anime because it's so inspired by anime. Mm-hmm. Then you have basically a classic big 3 shonen anime, and I'm just like, oh, this is so much better. Not only is this like a time sink like video games that I can just get into, but I can then discuss it with people.
Sure.
And I passed things on to Jacob while he was back at home and stuff.
Yep.
And oh my god, the identity issues I was going through and how Zuko's arc in Avatar: The Last Airbender was a search for identity just clicked.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can express fully to you guys how much it meant to me to go through like that journey with Zuko at that time where I was basically like now legally an adult and I'm like still trying to figure out like who I am and all that.
Yeah.
And then listening to Iroh's words and like importing them into myself as if he's speaking to me.
Yeah.
Like there were moments, y'all. It was like it was good. But like Avatar was a pretty big deal for you, kind of, wasn't it? Like,
well, yeah,
like you were.
I mean, Avatar.
You were 14 at the time.
Right.
Or maybe 15.
Yeah.
Maybe
I was.
15.
Yeah, I was about 14, I think.
Yeah.
And so that was like at the sort of the start of getting into all the teenage angst and things like that, and it was. It's tough because it was this absolutely amazing journey, and I absolutely loved Zuko so much. Like, the way he did that whole journey was absolutely fantastic, right? And as angsty as he is in the first season, right?
Yeah.
It's all about him going through the journey and the process of understanding himself and knowing what kind of person he's going to be. But strangely enough, the show that was more impactful to me. Along the subject of identity than Avatar: The Last Airbender or even any of the shows that I watched really was Bleach.
Wow, yeah.
And I'm not sure if that necessarily had so much to do with Bleach as it did just to do with the idea of the Determinator show.
Sure.
Right? Because Bleach did the Determinator thing pretty well.
It did,
right?
yeah.
There are tons
especially early on, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And there are tons of other anime that do the Determinator thing, so maybe it would have been one of those shows if, like, if
any one of those had been introduced to you first.
Exactly. Like, if I'd seen Gurren Lagann first or something like that,
sure.
That would have been it,
yeah.
right? But
maybe even more so. Gurren Lagann, holy crap.
But there was something about the idea of Ichigo with as bland and two-dimensional of a character as he was.
Right.
Or even one-dimensional. It was something where I was asking myself those questions of who am I?
Sure.
Right? And it was very easy to go like nihilistic and just basically be like, life is meaningless. There's no reason for my existence because eventually I'm gonna die and what will this life have been for? Right.
Yeah.
And it was really tough, but the way that they basically made this character who is totally self-insert, that's fine. That's what I needed at the time, right?
Sure. There you go.
Basically,
they can be useful.
Right. Yeah. Stick to have his resolve basically be enough to conquer anything.
Right. That power fantasy of having your grit, your determination, that bit of you that has you push through the struggle,
right, ends
up just connecting with you, and you go, wait. So my real life problems, I can just will.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
It was something where I felt it helps me stay grounded in a way because I I felt very, even though I hadn't seen Steins Gate at that point, it was very similar to like Mayuri where there's the whole idea of, oh, I feel like she's so like distant and like not connected, not grounded to reality that eventually she'll just float away and disappear, right? That was very much what it felt like, and it's like I need something where I can feel powerful and like I can actually make a difference, right? Mm-hmm. So I watched Bleach, and it's all about this kid that gets a magic sword and gets introduced to this world where he can make a difference, and that when he sees the injustices around him and things like that, he can go to battle against them, and as long as he doesn't give up, and even if there are struggles and things like that, eventually he can push through and win, and it was wonderful. Like there were, I actually, when I was trying to figure out like, okay, who is Jacob, kind of a thing.
Sure.
I made lists of different like characters, usually most of them from anime, that were, people that I wanted to emulate, right? Aspects of them, you know, that I wanted to be like. And a lot of it was basically from, you know, like Skillet Bleach AMVs, but, you know, but there were, you know, but there were other things too, like, you know, like in when I was thinking
inside the black.
Yeah. Feel like a monster.
Oh my god, but cringe. Oh, it's so real.
But the thing was, is that there were tons of other shows that like pertained to this, but this was really the first one that kind of embodied it. You know, because there'd be the story and it'd be going, oh, whatever, you know, so Ichigo's fighting somebody, and then all of a sudden the silver eyes, you know, shine, and then you know, and then you know the theme music's playing,
if
and
you want to see some action, gotta be the center of attraction. If you want to see some
now you feel like number one, shining bright for everyone.
Living
and that was
wow.
like that. That helped me feel like I could be focused. I could have a mission. I could have a purpose.
Sure.
And then you know, and then things like, you know, Black Lagoon and Attack on Titan, things came along that hit those same notes, but in very different ways, and
totally,
you know, maybe with better actual execution as far as the story goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Veparu, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Eric Walt with the Twitch Prime. Anime is so great. With mental health issues, it's so sad that people just dismiss it because of the well-known shonen tropes.
Yep.
I mean,
and I feel like
can be, but
I feel like that's
totally.
where shonen can really shine, is because it gets at that aspect, right? And maybe that's, you know, one of the big reasons why we loved MHA so much, you know, because it reminded us of that, and the idea that you too can be a hero. Fight.
Yeah. Trashokan, what the frick are Twitch berries? So basically, there's a Twitch feature that just got put out, and we were a part of we got put into the beta part of it because we're partnered. Woohoo! But what it is basically there's going to be a little thing at the bottom of your Twitch chat thing there, and every once in a while, when you're watching, when you're just watching, it'll give you like 20 of them. And then some of them will be like, ooh, tap this thing and it'll give you like 60 or 100 or something. And then you can use them to do little fun things in chat. Like if you're not a sub, you can use them to get an emote temporarily. We're going to end up utilizing them to customize for specific things and stuff. But yeah, you used it to highlight a message. It's pretty cool.
Only Eisen can beat that theme song.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah. If you guys hear any stuff in the background right now, there's a person who's fixing our dryer. So just bear with that noise.
Hopefully it doesn't carry over too much.
But... yeah, it shouldn't be too loud, if anything. But we'll try to keep things going here. But so Bleach was early anime career kind of timeline things there. But it's so cool that an anime that I look back on now as being like like I'm still salty about it. I still respect the influence that it had, but I am salty about the fact that I was introduced to that anime first, you know?
Right. Well, and
spent 361 episodes or whatever of my life watching
episode
it.
342 is still really good. But one of my favorite things that happened in Bleach that kind of sold it for me was the idea, and there was a point, I can't remember where it was, right, whether it was in filler or something, because there's so many episodes of Bleach and I never rewatched, you know, the entire thing, right? But it was a part post Soul Society arc where basically Ichigo is getting down on himself because of the inner hollow, right? And his resolve is breaking. I can't, like, it might have been during the Bount arc, for crying out loud, like, who knows? But there was a point where basically Rukia, because Ichigo and Rukia is my favorite part of Bleach, but it was where basically his, you know, resolve bar had run dry, right, and he needed to get filled back up because he was in his own head and he couldn't shake himself out of this funk.
Gotcha.
And then Rukia basically comes by and helps him out, and it was,
did she like tsundere slap him or something,
something like that basically, but it was like a thing of like, where's the Ichigo I know?
Oh, right.
Like
yeah.
I remember the person that would, you know, that charged into Soul Society to save me. So what?
Yeah.
So what if you're having some trouble?
Right.
You won't let that beat you, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it was just awesome.
For sure.
Ichigo is also part Bount. You can't convince me otherwise.
Hey, Vaporud with the tier 1 sub. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's also September right now, y'all. So subs are 50% off, so you can make Bezos pay us the entire thing. Pay us all the money that you sub with himself. So if you'd like to, if you'd like to help us get more Bezos' money, that just went south really quickly. Oh man. Okay, so those are some of the first things that we watched that were animated and stuff, and they had huge impacts on us. In some ways, I want to emulate what you're, or not emulate, I want to echo what you're saying here with Bleach, because while Bleach didn't help me out in identity stuff, I remember being really like having zero confidence, like all the way up to my like pre-20 kind of period of my life. And I remember Bleach actually being this thing where it was like, he wasn't the, like, if anything, Ichigo was kind of the cool kid. If you remember back at school, he wasn't the shy introvert or whatever.
Right.
He, if anything, had everything going for him, to the point where he would like kick off his friend because he wasn't cool enough to basically hang with Ichigo. And it was like, oh, that kind of character doesn't make sense, but a little bit of that kind of confidence of like, hey, you can assert yourself, you can stand up for yourself. That's actually like kind of a thing that I didn't really get too much of it out of Bleach, but it was there. Yeah. One kind of theming of things that we brought up a lot in the past, but something that really defined a lot of our mental health journey, so I'm going to bring it up here, even though it's a little bit out of order. Was Jacob and I both had to deal over the course of about 8 years, I would say. Was it 8 years, or was it longer?
9 years.
9 years, Jesus. Okay. So there was a period of time in our life where our mom was stuck with an incurable disease. And the problem was it wasn't something as simple as like she needs to sleep a lot or she needs to take a ton of pills. That was there. But it was it was a lot more visceral. It was a lot more visceral. It was the agonizing pain of what are called cluster migraines. They're identifiable. They know what it is. But it's essentially a thing where your brain or your whatever just goes crazy and gives you headaches for literally no reason. They know what can kind of cause them or bring it up, but it broke us multiple points along our period of time growing up. It was only really ended about a year or so ago.
And because one of the things about these things, because a lot of times people hear about it and they'll be like, oh, like a migraine. Yes, like a migraine.
Like a migraine.
And this isn't to
but with Sozin's comment on that migraine.
Right, exactly. Because traditionally with migraines, they'll be really bad and they'll be really debilitating, and it can completely take your life away, right? But the reason that it's debilitating is because there's this headache that's constantly happening, and so it can, it's incredibly stressful, it's hard to focus and things like that. And it can totally like whack up the way you're able to think about things because, in like sleep and things like that. But someone on the outside wouldn't necessarily realize that you have a migraine. Right. This was very noticeable. This was you rocking noticed. And moaning for half an hour.
The kind of pain where basically you see someone in pain like this for years and years and years, to the point where you actually begin to loathe that person's pain because you can't make it stop.
Right. And like it's the kind
of thing that will just crush you.
The kind of a thing where when you're out in public, people would think the person's like having a small seizure or something. Right? Like that was how bad it was. And the thing was that we didn't really there was nothing we could do. Like, it was the constant thing of like, maybe this will work, maybe this will work, maybe this will work. And the worst parts would be when it actually would work for like 3 weeks or something.
We would get hopeful for like again. A month.
Yeah, and then it comes back. And these would be from between early on it was like every like 4 to 6 hours.
Sure.
But towards the end it got to like every 2 hours.
Like every 45 minutes sometimes.
Right, where there would be because the thing is that these headaches would last for a solid half hour. I don't know how she pulled through it. How she survived. It's ridiculous. I
don't know how my dad survived either, because he didn't sleep. Like here's the thing, y'all. Like the person who ends up basically dealing with it, they crash at some point. Like their body gets so exhausted that they physically can't even feel pain, so they fall asleep.
Right. She would be in bed almost 24/7 because the headaches would exhaust her so that she would have to sleep, but she wouldn't be able to get enough sleep because then there would be another headache.
The cycle would
45 an
repeat
hour,
itself.
15 later, and
So-
it just keep going.
So we're telling you all this to kind of give you a little bit of a lead-in for some of the anime that really helped us with this, where they deal with things regarding disease or regarding mothers or regarding this
Yep.
whole this whole side of things where you can basically escape. Because this thing lasted from that time period. This is why I thought it'd be a good time to bring it up, even though it was more recent, really. From about that time when we were talking about Avatar, when I was like 19 or 18, till about a year ago.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's
it actually
about
works. It actually works pretty well. But there were multiple times where we would do what we could to basically just escape, and anime was huge for that. Do you wanna go first with some of the ones that were really helpful for you?
Yeah. This may seem kind of like out of nowhere, but Sweetness and Lightning, actually.
Yeah.
So after when we were watching Bleach, we watched it and we got all caught up, and to the point where we were watching it week to week. But after that, I never really watched anything week to week, just anything like at all, not even non-anime, right? But I definitely watched a lot of shows to sort of drown it out, because then you just put in the headphones and there you go. But with Sweetness and Lightning, I didn't even really think about it that much, of the fact because this was when it's like 5-7 years into it, by that point,
right?
So kind of dead inside already, like it's scary how cold you get when you're dealing with this all the time, because you have to, it has to normalize, otherwise how can you possibly deal with it? And the whole idea of the single dad that's basically now caring for his little girl after mom's passed away. Because there were,
I can't wait to watch this show.
It's wonderful. And
it seems so wholesome.
And even though it was something in a style that I didn't really like, of the episodic things, where because half of each episode is, what are they cooking this episode, right? But it was exactly what I needed. It was so lighthearted. It was so just wholesome that I was looking forward to each new episode so much. It
Were
was
you
a
watching
highlight
it
of
as
my
it
week.
came out?
I was watching it as it came out. It was the
that's
first time
great.
I watched something as it came out since Bleach.
So then it feels like a thing of where you always know, okay, there's going to be another episode coming out. So you don't end up binging it too quickly, and then you're like left, at the emptiness of when you finish an anime, right?
Yeah, the shark song. Yep. That's
I have no idea what that means, but okay. Because I think about Baby Shark, do. But not that shark song. Okay.
No, not that shark song.
Yeah, someone mentioned it earlier in chat, and Your Lie in April was very much a accidentally therapeutic one for me with regards to that, because I'll talk about my stuff in a second here with this, but Sweetness and Lightning, it cannot be understated how important it is that people have escapes from regular society. This is not a bad thing. For anyone that basically judges you from you just watch anime all the time in your room, sometimes that's what you need. You need to basically have that fantasy world, that fictional reality you can escape to and go, everything will be daijoubu, everything's going to be okay. Now, there is a little bit of that dread of knowing that you have to go back out there and stuff like that.
And that's why it can become something that can take over your life.
Yes, absolutely.
But you need those things.
But you need those things sometimes. And we're just trying to be here to be the ones that validate that in, without extremes, obviously. But
the thing is, when it comes to validating it and talking about mental health and things like that, I will say that I used to be one of those people that very much, when people would talk about, like mental health is good to talk about and things like that, and and whatnot, it felt very like fake almost. Like sometimes it was like, people trying to garner attention or basically talking themselves up of how empathetic they were. Right, of how much they cared, kind of a thing. Because with the whole headaches that our mom had, one of the things that was the most infuriating was when people pretended to care to make themselves feel better because they were uncomfortable about the fact that this person was suffering in front of them.
Yeah.
Right, and they didn't want to hear the cries. Right. You know, so instead they come and offer a suggestion. They come and, you know, do something, and it's like, oh yeah, you think we haven't tried that already? Yeah, I know exactly why you're doing this. You're doing this to make yourself feel better, not because you actually care about the person.
You're not
in front
allowed
of you.
to do that. Yeah,
you're not allowed to do that.
God, I so many times where I would actually like push away family members, not like immediate family, but like, you know, extended family and stuff who would try to do that, and I'd be like, nope, you're not allowed to do that. Leave.
Yeah, or the worst of it was when they would be like, oh, maybe this is so we grew up in a Christian home, and one of the worst things that would ever happen is when the extended family, sometimes, and they didn't do this often, and
they try to force their religious stuff into
basically
it,
of the well, maybe there's some purpose for this kind of a thing,
oh my God.
or you know, maybe she's holding something in her heart that's
that would bring the if there was ever a time for the righteous fury.
Yeah. So the reason I loved Attack on Titan was because it stoked the rage against the injustice of the world, right? And it was for things like that. But so
you don't want to see Paladin, Jacob.
Yeah. So when it came to mental health, it was something that was very tough for me to take seriously when people would say how important it was, because I always saw the fake sides of when people would address that, right? But so coming from someone who very strongly hated the whole idea of that, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, because you need to take care of yourself. There are things that you won't even realize necessarily that you've just sort of come to accept, right? You know, like the quirks of the old beater car, right?
Oh, sure.
You know?
Great example.
You know, and it's just like, oh, it just adds personality. Well, sure,
it does.
It does, because no one's perfect, and you're not meant to be perfect,
right?
But do you want to deal with that? Just take it to the mechanic and get it fixed, right? You know, help get all of that regulated, because
for sure,
don't deal with it if you don't have to, and you don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Things that pull you out of that are really important. For me, recently, it actually was a place for the universe in combination with the Your Lie in April stuff, kind of bringing up a little bit of that. So for me, it was all around emotion. So one of the things that I've done as a little bit of a fun study is that there are people who I would say they have basically their hot and cold dynamic. And most people, I would say, are hot and cold one way or the other. Like, very few people are warm on the outside, warm on the inside. They're cold on the outside and warm on the inside. Basically, like, it's the tsundere, you know? Tsunderes are cold on the outside, but on the inside, they're all warm and like, ugh. And then the other people are warm on the outside because they're, because they're cold on the inside, and they're trying to warm themselves up in a way. I am one of those people that is the warm on the outside, cold on the inside. And I have constantly battled with that and tried to figure out ways to warm myself up, because I can't rely 100% on people to do that for me. And in some ways, stuff like Monogatari has taught me that I need to work on me. That's my job. Only I can solve my problems.
Oh yeah, I wish I'd started Monogatari. Okay, I probably wouldn't have been ready for Monogatari with all the all the shaft ways of doing things and whatnot. But man, I wish I'd started that show earlier.
But all these anime that we've been watching with the channel and stuff have this underlying aspect of dramatic emotion and people caring so much, and it's despite the fact that they usually have all these internal doubts and all these internal things that they're wrestling with. Like, no one's perfect, and I think that's where we've been spoiled by watching all these amazing anime with fantastic characters. But A Place for the Universe deals with the aspect of the main girl with the mom and stuff like that, who went to Antarctica and stuff, and basically the mom is gone, but the mom ended up being someone that spurred her on by her passion, by her, I would say her energy, just who she was, inspired her to go beyond basically her mundane life, if you will. Now, this doesn't really translate perfectly to my situation, but what it ended up basically helping me keep in mind was, though the mom in that story was gone, and in my life, the mom that I had been used to wasn't around anymore. She couldn't be herself.
Yeah.
I was able to remember who my mom was in the past, and it like built something within me. It built this like this I would say this tenacity, because that was the main thing I loved about A Place from the Universe, other than the interpersonal character dynamics. The characters were so fantastic, but it was God, I wish I remembered her name. The main
I want to say
I remember Kimari
Kabuchizawa.
Kabuchizawa. It's such a long name,
yeah.
but yeah, Kabuchizawa. Her tenacious aspect to just go after this whole trip to Antarctica, despite being probably the most insecure out of the girls, other than the girl from the child actor.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Shirase,
Yuzuki.
thank you, Shirase. Yuzuki, Yuzuki had her own insecurities as well, but that was huge. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
Your Lie in April basically like opened up the bottle of emotion in that specific area there, and I remember watching that anime and crying at scenes in the anime where I don't think those were like the emotional punchline, so to speak, of the episode.
Like that wasn't supposed to be the thing that hit hard.
Yeah, it would just be like, oh, and here it goes. Here it goes. But the thing that I felt like it was almost a journey for was, you guys are going to laugh at this. You guys are really going to laugh at this. But when you're a warm on the outside, cold on the inside kind of person, there's this dichotomy of you have a lot of emotion, but it has to come from something. And I would say with the other side of the issue, you know, with being warm on the inside, cold on the outside, if anything, you're trying to break the barrier to releasing your emotions. You're trying to figure out the ways to let it out in a way that feels natural and doesn't feel painful or whatever. It's not stressful. It's just easy. With the other thing, it's where the emotion just dies out too quickly. It just dies out too quickly. So for me, you guys are really going to laugh at this, but an anime that we're still watching and is extremely therapeutic for me is JoJo's. Now, I'm not even kidding.
When
here,
you put
y'all.
that on the list, I was like, really? JoJo's or this?
Yeah.
Huh.
Can I just say, this is something I said about JoJo's earlier, but I was kind of being a little bit veiled with this here. I'm going to talk about Haikyuu for those of you that are Haikyuu people. You know how much Haikyuu means to me, but this is a whole nother story here. I'm going to talk to you about how JoJo's made it okay for me to express emotion. Now, this is a crazy, weird thing here. JoJo's has the most bombastic, over-the-top presentation of everything that it does. Because it's so stylish, because it's so over-the-top, it basically looks at things that are regarded as boundaries of presentation, if you will, and says, who cares about those boundaries? Let's just be honest. Yes, exactly. There's this honesty to JoJo's that is, I would legitimately say, is freeing. And to someone like me who struggles with being, I would say, not being expressive with emotion, but letting out all the real emotion with the expressiveness, I'd say JoJo's actually just said, hey, there are no rules to this. There are no rules to anime, was the real thing that it taught me about anime. Is that there are no rules to anime. JoJo's just looks at the rules and laughs at them. Rules. I am JoJo's. I make my own rules. Nani? You know? That's just what it is. But for me, it said basically there's no rules with how you express yourself. You express yourself as who you are. Take that identity, take who you are, grab onto that firmly, and you know, you allow yourself to grow. You don't, become, brittle and hard and, stubborn and what have you, but just be free. And there's so much that was a big deal for me from that whole expression there. And there were multiple times in JoJo's where I don't know, the silliness of it actually even got to me. I didn't have like big crying moments like in Violet Evergarden or what have you, but
oh man,
it would actually like moved me. I don't know how to describe it.
That's a great point. It makes total sense now that you say it like that. I never would have thought of it that way, because the thing was for me is because I'm the opposite, right? I'm the warm on the inside, cold on the outside,
right?
And the thing is that, you know, with like, say, what was happening with her mom and stuff, is that it was starting to affect the inside, so it felt like I was just going to turn into someone cold through and through. Which was really scary for me.
Yeah.
So and I had that even like before the stuff with, well, no, actually, now that I think about it, a lot of the stuff with puberty and identity and all that stuff was because of that starting, and me trying to figure out how I was going to think about the world and whatnot. But so that's why I would seek out those anime that would make me bawl and things like that. You know, Wolf Children, A Silent Voice, Toradora, things like that, because it reminded me that I was still human, you know, that I wasn't gone, that I could still care about things even when, you know, in the midst of basically watching myself get colder to my own mom because this had been going on for so long.
Yeah.
And it was therapeutic in ways that I didn't even realize. And then with things like this, it, like, I feel like that's where kind of this came from, because it became the place where I could get in touch with that side of myself without worry. Yeah. And then with something like, say, you know, well, with Your Lie in April, you mentioned that one, and I didn't even put it on the list, but now that you mention it,
because you watched that way before me.
Yeah, and I was watching that just because I was trying to find a Toradora replacement, because I love Toradora so much.
Sure. There you go.
But the way they showcased that illness changes people, and that it's not just a thing of like the actual literal physical side effects of the illness, right?
Yeah.
The mental toll as well.
Yep.
Thankfully, our mom always has been and is ridiculously awesome. So, so we didn't have to deal with a lot of the stuff that came up in Your Lie in April. But the idea of seeing a person changing in front of you, and them turning into someone that you almost don't recognize, and then the whole idea of like when finally, thankfully, we were able to figure out something that made her headache stop, the transition of almost getting to know her again as a person, now that she doesn't have that, now that, you know, it was weird. It was weird. And the whole part where they showed that the abusive side of his mom in Your Lie in April, you know, and again, you know, our mom wasn't abusive, but that the illness and what that turned her into wasn't everything, you know, that wasn't who she really was. That I loved that. And then with things like Violet Evergarden episode 10, you know, that was because the thing is, when
Violet Evergarden episode 10, oh my god,
when the headaches finally went away, and for good, it felt like we had, like she had been brought back from the dead, like we got our mom back, right? So yeah.
Hey, Star Platinum with the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the sub. Hi, just got in and I'm so happy you guys decided to talk about this. I didn't think I needed to stay until I saw you guys. Thank you. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you so much for saying that. Glad to hear it. All right. Hey, a couple of you are using the feature, the channel feature for spending your berries, since we are a One Piece manga stream now. I mean, or a channel now. I'm going to read off a couple of these here. They seem pretty relevant. Cyros. Hey, Cyros, how's it going? Anime and other forms of media have the benefit of not being another person that questions you.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great point. Often mental issues are highly complex, deep, and personal. As much as you want to talk about it with other people, there are often blockades, like how should I phrase it without getting it across wrong.
Sure.
An anime, etc., however, can still have the exact emotional beats you need to reach catharsis, because it's also another person putting their emotions into this work.
Right.
Yeah, you can feel the connection to the creator's work via watching it.
Right.
And you're right in that the whole, sometimes you want to talk about it, but you more need to process through it than actually have a discussion with someone.
Right.
I sometimes will ask specific people, be like, hey, can you be a soundboard for me? I need someone to listen. Like, I don't need someone to talk to me.
Yeah.
And very few people I trust to actually do this, because it is so hard, especially as I've been on the other side of things as well. People come to me and ask, like, hey, can you just listen to me for a minute? I need to talk about some things. I know that what they're needing is just to process something, and I have more of a chance of screwing up something by talking than I do.
Less is more.
Less is more, exactly.
They know exactly what they need.
Yeah.
Better than you ever could.
And even if they don't, just going through this, they might figure it out as they're
figure
talking.
it out, exactly. Yep.
Hey, Veparude with the highlighted message here. This topic hits close to home for me. I was torn on how I viewed myself as a person, since there was a possibility of me having a dissociative identity disorder. Gotcha. Yeah. But then, when I watched and read Berserk, and seeing Gut struggle with his anger helped me realize that no matter how dark my own thoughts of myself are, I had people around me who wanted to help and be there for me as long as I remembered that I'd be okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good,
really
Veparude.
good.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Amaju, did Devilman Crybaby or Berserk have any negative effects in your mental health, or was it too short of a show, or were you too desensitized at that point?
So here's the thing.
It depends on what you mean.
Yeah, like the way that maybe those shows did have a negative effect on my mental health is that I could like generally get pretty depressed after those shows, or I would need an emotional pick me up of some kind or whatever, right?
Same. But we would do this like almost strategically with how we would record it.
Yeah, like Haikyuu was something that we specifically used, I believe, because we were watching Berserk at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
But not really, because not really.
I personally got a little bit desensitized by my watch through of Berserk's ending. Like that kind of desensitized me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think if anything, when Devilman Crybaby came up, because it was so short, I wasn't too traumatized by it, even though it was a very traumatizing show in terms of how it handled its characters. And I
feel like because it was so honest about what it was going to do.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
Because the thing is about Berserk, the reason I think that the eclipse ends up hitting so hard is because you're not entirely sure what it's going to do, right? Yeah. Whereas with Devilman Crybaby, from the first episode, you know what kind of a show it is you're getting into.
Yeah, there's a couple things at the end that you're not fully sure about, because it goes a bit galactic and
right. But still
hyper spiritual and stuff.
But the idea of the almost excessive brutality of everything, makes it so that you're prepared, I feel like. Whereas in Berserk, they didn't do that as much. You knew that something bad was going to happen, and then when that happens, it's bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. We have someone in here named Perverted Old Man and stuff, and someone responded back in the auto mod let it, like, auto blocked it, because they were like, thank you, Perverted Old Man, for your wisdom. But it is really hard to talk about stuff to friends. Sometimes talking to strangers is easier, since most of the times you don't want to ruin the mood.
Yes.
Or tamper with the friendship in any way. So that's why therapy is very much a realistic and valid thing to go and have, y'all.
And the thing is,
it's totally fine.
And the thing is that you might think, like, well, what does it take to be a professional for, whatever? It actually does a lot, because if you, like, most of the time, if you're talking to, say, like a stranger or something, like I did this, a fair amount.
Sure.
They'll figure out that it's just just listen kind of a deal, right? But I feel like with the good therapists, or at least what I've seen from the one that I've been seeing, is that they know when to listen, and then they also know when to ask questions that aren't that basically are there to just cause you to think more.
Yeah.
Not trying to necessarily like lead you in a certain direction, although sometimes they do that, but just to it's effective. It's weirdly effective. But yeah.
Personally, I think Game of Thrones Season 8 was more traumatizing for different reasons. Yep. I 100% agree. Also, would you consider watching Archer as a comedic pick-me-up, or have you already seen it? I have not seen Archer.
I have not seen it either.
But I have also only, like, one friend who really likes Archer. Like, like none of my friends are the kind of people that watch Archer, as far as I know, or would excitedly talk about it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I have one friend who's talked a lot about Archer, and he's like, hey, you might like it, you might not. And I've just never watched it.
I'm all for comedic pick-me-ups, though.
Yeah. Ooh, Mesker, Yuru Camp affected my mental health in a very meaningful way. It doesn't have any deep messages, symbolism, themes, or what have you, but its simple, relaxing nature helped with stress tremendously. I'll stay vague since you haven't watched it. It's okay being comfortable, spending time alone without feeling like you're doing something wrong. You don't need to be exciting or a social butterfly. Relaxing is fine. Escapism is fine. Simple is fine. And then the 8-bit comfy up there. That is so true. Let me talk to you about an anime that isn't even on this list here, and kind of did the same thing here, but it was around the idea of connection. So there's an anime that we mentioned earlier because it has a perfect episode 10, but Violet Evergarden is one of those anime that I didn't think would actually go too much into connection. I thought it would be more of an identity, like a, the
because
searching
the
for
Kudere
humanity. Because the Kudere kind of
Yeah.
cybernetic type thing going on there. But that wasn't it almost at all. There was some of that there, but it was actually a simple story about connection and about how we connect with each other as human beings. And for me, there was a disconnect in my mind between just the idea of connection and being social. Can I just speak to all the introverts out there? You do not have to be a social person, like a social butterfly, in order to get good, meaningful connections with people. You don't have to do the cast a wide net for friends and hope you get one kind of thing.
Hope an extrovert will pick you up.
Hoping an extrovert will pick you up kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you that this is something you have to use in moderation here. In moderation, introverts, listen closely here. I think this is the one time I'm going to give like unsolicited advice on this whole thing here. Is be vulnerable. Now, when I say be vulnerable, there are levels here. You have to be careful because people will hurt you when you're vulnerable.
That's why it's called being vulnerable.
But I'm letting you know, one of the most freeing things about this is when you figure out what levels of vulnerability you're comfortable with, is live in that space. People will actually come to you. And the thing is that some people will come to you and they might look to manipulate and use you.
Yeah.
But if you have good people who like kind of can contrast that, and you basically kind of look and compare the two, you go, oh, okay, I see the difference here. But
and also
it's it was huge for me in those moments where Violet was willing to be vulnerable with her friends and stuff like that, and then ended up learning so much about connection despite having no real skills with connecting with people.
And also for any aspiring writers out there, if you want a way to make your audience care about the characters, have them be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the easiest ways you can do it. Because then it feels like there actually is someone being vulnerable with them, and that's where some of the strongest connections are formed.
Yeah.
This isn't related to the whole issues that we had with our mom, but
another anime recommendation.
But another anime that helped me with my mental health in a place that I was at was Toradora.
Oh yeah.
And I've talked plenty about Toradora and the fact that I love it, and it's a fantastic rom-com. It's a fantastic show. You should definitely watch it. But I also watched it at the right time of my life where I was basically, I had a lot of insecurities about the whole idea of like, will I ever find someone, right?
Sure.
And that was a big sore spot for me, and it was something that I worried about a lot. And it was watching this journey of these idiots stumbling their way through love and realizing that all of the things that they would try and do to try and find love wouldn't actually help them find love, right?
Gotcha.
But that love would find them. That, not that it isn't something that I don't worry about sometimes still, but it helped me a ton growing up to basically relax, let go, and realize that like basically get me out of the crushing stage, you know,
Sure.
where you just crush on people and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I don't know if that'll necessarily have that same kind of impact on any of you guys, but that was something that helped me a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Psychronio was talking about connection and stuff and vulnerability. So the moral of Kaguya-sama, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually true. Actually
up.
true. Honest
Straight up.
vulnerability would have like ended that whole show's plot a long time ago. You guys are going to react to the new Saga of Tanya the Evil movie? I don't know. We'll see. When my father was dealing with disease, I didn't exactly use anime to deal with it. I played games, watched anime that had great stories, and stories that inspired me or just distract me. Right? For sure. Yeah. Is this why you like Domekano? JK.
Oh
man. Yeah. Like a lot of sad adolescent boys, Evangelion was incredibly important to me. I'm convinced no other show captures social anxiety and depression quite as well. It was like a storm of all the emotions I felt depicted as the apocalypse they felt like, but managing to find hope and growth within it all, and it keeps on giving even as an adult. Yeah, it's a pretty fantastic show.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those shows I would say in some ways it's made better by its flaws. Like there's a lot of imperfections surrounding it, but the parts where it basically allows itself to go beyond just kind of things that make for good story, narrative, all that kind of stuff, and just be raw with it. It's it's pretty good.
And also the way that, like, is okay if it was just Shinji, right?
If it was just
Shinji, that'd still be great.
Yeah, but it's not.
But the way they make it so that everyone has their problems, and like even if some of them are extreme in ways that aren't as easily relatable as, you know, a bunch of, you know, expectations being put on you, or maybe that's just me, but I feel like it helps communicate the idea that everyone has their issues. Yeah. Right? You know, they might not all get resolved by crazy, you know, mech battles and whatnot.
Yep.
But everyone has issues. Even people after, you know, even after they're grown-ups.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. On the positive side of things, because I feel like mental health has a lot to talk about, because in a lot of ways it deals with emotion, and most emotions are generally like joy is just like the one main positive emotion. There's no bad emotions in that regard, but the idea that, you know, most emotion has a negative stigma to it. I feel like we need to talk about things that give us joy. And with regards to mental health, I feel like for many people, because maybe I'm projecting here a little bit, but there was a time in our lives where joy was exhausting, or it was exhausting to be around joyful people. Can anyone relate? Like, can anyone relate to that?
Yep.
Can anyone like you know what I mean? When you see someone and they're just too damn happy. It's like, can you just shut up? You're actually like stressing me out
and
with
you're
how
not
freaking happy you are.
And you're not sure if it's coming across as fake.
Right.
Or whether you're assuming and projecting that it must be fake.
Right.
Because how could anyone be that happy when I feel like this?
I will tell you, Haikyuu just broke that whole thing for me. I was breaking it like over the course of a long period of time, but Haikyuu was like the final like ora into the dam of that whole thing for me. Haikyuu was like, you can be as happy as you want. You can be so freaking excited about whatever you want. You can like channel that and let it channel itself. Yeah, Hinata, I love Hinata. He is not the most interesting character in Haikyuu. Let's be real. There are some way more interesting characters in Haikyuu in terms of writing, complexity, development, and all that stuff. Like we get into that if we were doing a Haikyuu thing, but we're not doing a Haikyuu thing here. I just had to bring this up. You are allowed to be excited about what you're excited about. Like, just like let it be its own thing. Be weird, be ridiculous about it. Like, people are gonna go, why are you so freaking excited about those two characters just showing up? Who cares? And it's like, they're my characters. I love them so much. It's so satisfying to just let yourself be happy here. It's so satisfying. The thing is, though, is that I feel like we feel like that we're not allowed to be happy about specific things because 2 days later we know we're going to be like really down in the dumps about another thing. And that whiplash is just too much for us. So we're like, oh, let's settle in the middle.
Right.
Extremes are tiring, which they are. Let's be real.
Yep.
But here's the thing. We have this wonderful thing called memory. It can be a curse and it can be a blessing. Like it can be, it can be the whole spectrum of things.
Yep.
But when you utilize the raw energy that is joy and you like tap into it and it's just there, and anime can do such a good job for that. It's just like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
When you experience that can go, especially if it's really palpable, it can go into your long-term memory. And when something goes into your long-term memory and it's positive, that means that for the most part, for a long period of your life moving forward, you will look back on that moment as just, do you remember that like amazing feeling? And it will carry you through those times in the future when you are in the dumps, because they will happen.
Oh, yeah.
So that is my TED Talk and Haikyuu, y'all. Freaking watch it if you have even the slightest interest in sports boys playing with their balls. Like that's all I'm gonna say about that. Haikyuu, y'all.
One of the other ones that has to be mentioned, because of course, like I would mention this, like you think I'd talk, like have a podcast talking about mental health, and I wouldn't talk about this movie. Like I talk about this movie when we're talking about all kinds of other things.
Here we go.
But a silent voice. Here's the thing. So A Silent Voice is just amazing, and you need to watch it, right? And I've said this a bajillion times already, so you're used to hearing this, I'm guessing. But But the thing is, when I watched A Silent Voice, I mean, I wasn't doing too great. Yes, it is still my profile pic. That's right. But the way that they deal with mental health in A Silent Voice is so good. And because they deal with it like any other thing, right? So they're like, even though at some points it almost feels like it's about mental health, you know, kind of. There isn't a stigma with it. It's just something that they're dealing with, right? And the reason why I feel like it hit me so much was not just because it dealt with the whole mental health thing, right? Not because it made me take on a different perspective on you know, life. I feel like of what kind of people did I not properly, like, you know, connect with and you know, because they were different, right? Which in and of itself hit me pretty hard, because I've always seen myself as being a very weird, different kind of person. So the idea that I might not be doing that fully hit hard.
Erase your head. You gotta go. The stream really helped listening to this. Take the weight off my shoulders. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Take
Erase
care.
your head. Have a good one. I'm glad it helped. But sorry. Continue.
But the thing about A Silent Voice was that it helped tell me that no mistake is ever too big.
Whoa.
Because here's the thing.
That's huge.
The majority of the mental health issues that I've had is from a desire and a need to be as perfect as I can be, right? And that's helped me a lot over the years with certain things, right? It's helped me with improving myself and things like that, but it's also hurt me a lot, where I get down on myself and I get into this vicious, you know, negative downward spiral of I'm not good enough, or I messed up on something, you know, just now or 10 years ago or whatever, and I beat myself up over it.
Right.
And the journey for all of the characters involved to accept their flaws is absolutely incredible. I love it.
Yeah. And they don't shy away from things in A Silent Voice. It's a really great story.
Even Jake Retake, that you guys met at RTX, was like, I'm at the SOS Bros. Jacob was shilling A Silent Voice. Yeah. No, that's...
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Jess. That encounter was hilarious. Yeah, we got to meet a fellow anime reaction YouTuber named Jake Retake. Very, very cool guy. Very cool guy. And we got pizza. We introduced him to D&D and all kinds of stuff. But I was shilling Haikyuu and Jacob was shilling A Silent Voice.
Yep.
So I think he's doing Haikyuu reactions now. We were like, do it, you know?
Yeah.
Very excitedly and stuff. Oh man, thank you all for the fantastic comments and stuff. This has been a really cool stream and stuff. We're gonna do a little bit more of a little bit more interaction and stuff now, so we'll be able to read a little bit more of your things here. Perverted old man, do you think that has something to do with people wanting to act as adults that forgo what they liked as a kid?
Yes, absolutely.
The whole thing like that.
Yep.
Yes, that is part of it.
Yeah,
that is part of it.
I mean, like that's how I was before I watched Airbender. Like Caleb introduced me to Airbender, right? So in a lot of ways, like, you know, he got this whole anime journey started, well, but also with Bleach. But I was like, no,
That's a kid's show.
I'm not gonna watch some stupid cartoon. No way. Because, you know, I was a grown up 14-year-old or whatever, right? Oh man. Oh boy.
Yeah, you were in your anime, your edgy teen phase. That happens to
definitely.
all of us. Yes, Jacob. Yeah, nice to meet you. Have you heard of a silent voice? And then now that I know you, now check this out. Pulls out Domeikano. Exactly.
I mean,
Oh man. Silent voice in your line, April, broke me, but in good ways. I was on the floor sobbing, but I felt better about my life afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah.
oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was actually, now that I think about it, I think that was one of the reasons why I liked Wolf Children so much too, because the mental strength of Hana was totally reminded me of my own mom, and which, given, like, you know, the situations that she was having was huge, and it's also a great one with just accepting yourself and choosing who you want to be. So as another identity one, that's a great one.
Totally. Oh, Jess511 saying, recently I've really been allowing yourself to not be the nicest person in the room without being a terrible person is super liberating. Yeah, basically there is the point where nice people can put up with BS from people that they shouldn't be. It's the stand up for yourself and basically tell people off when they treat you badly.
Something else that they bring up in a silent voice.
Yeah. I know you guys are still early in your One Piece journey, but in a way, the Straw Hat crew became like a second family after all these years of reading week to week.
Oh, yeah, I can totally get that. Yeah.
Sometimes when I feel down, I watch the best of the series. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Yeah, absolutely. Star
Totally
Platinum.
get it, Star Platinum.
That makes perfect sense.
Yep. I mean, that's what most shows end up being for us. It's just, you know, different things. And for something like One Piece that is that long, yeah, absolutely.
Hajime no Ippo really helped me out as a teenager. The wholesomeness of the show, plus following the journey of these awesome characters, really got me through rough spots.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Faust, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, wholesome boys and wholesome main characters in general just can do quite a lot. I rewatch Gurren Lagann every month for reminiscent of the good old days.
Wow.
Simon the Digger. Mad respect for that. Mad respect for that.
That's a lot of
That's a dedication.
Yeah.
Emaju, did you know Domeikano was inspired by an old English author? Some guy wrote a folk tale called Sons of Huon. I feel like this is a Lord of the Rings joke.
No, it's a Lord of the Rings joke.
Yeah,
Children of Hurin.
Yeah.
You know, because Hurin,
Yeah.
Yep.
Good one, Emaju. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, on the topic of positivity in anime, One Piece is actually a good contender, just philosophically speaking. The world is explicitly a dangerous place with plenty of awful people, but the story is primarily one of optimism and joy. Case in point, Oda gives every single character a unique laugh just to show how special it is.
Oh, cool.
Whoa. Okay. That's interesting. Thank you.
Ooh,
Thank you for that.
Something that I believe had a similar effect on me like Toradora had on you, Jacob. Spice and Wolf, anime and light novels. The story just made me happy throughout and let me think about that there has to be someone for me, even for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Spice and Wolf was great.
Simone, Caleb. Okay. Simone, yes, I know. Just spelled Simon. Raphael Maya, thank you so much for the follow. And then your message as well.
Monogatari, seriously, that anime legit changed my life for the better. I can imagine.
Yeah, in some ways, I am excited to see how it will do something similar for me when we finish it. What do you guys think about tough love when supporting someone emotionally? It's my go-to when taking care of my friends. Some appreciate it, some say it makes it worse.
Well,
I don't trust myself enough to give that much, really, of tough love.
The thing is, I feel like tough love isn't. I don't feel like it's supporting someone, because supporting someone is where you're helping to hold them up, right? Tough love is when you're saying you don't need my support, right?
Right.
You know, and
Which is true.
Which is true. But the thing is, there are times when people need support, right? You know, you got to have that both.
That's why I think tough love for me is asking questions. So basically,
like, what are you going to do to solve that kind of a thing?
Yeah. And I think that's fine. I think that's basically saying, like, you have that problem. What are you going to do about it? And they go, I don't know. I'm like, would you like me to do anything about it with you? Like, would you like me to help you with that? Would you like me to listen to you? And then those questions are the equivalent of my saying, do you want just support, or would you like the tough love equivalent?
Well, and a lot of times people think that they can't do anything, and that's probably where the tough love works. But the thing is that people are also very stubborn. So when you tell someone something, usually they will do everything they can to reject it, even if they hold you in the highest regard, right?
Sure.
And that's probably one of the biggest things that I've felt is really cool, learning from seeing the psychiatrist that I've been seeing, is the way they guide you. They don't guide you usually by telling you that you need to do something or think a certain way or whatever, but they basically just poke at things and they just ask questions, and they're completely fine with you taking it however you want to take it, right?
Right.
But because of that, they can get you to, or at least I've been changing my perspectives and ways that I think about things and stuff way more than I would otherwise when I've talked about these sorts of things with people many times before, who I have a much closer connection with, because they're not pushing something forward that they're trying to get me to adopt.
Missed a message here from Yachi26. Haikyuu helped me in a lot of ways. It was wholesome, funny, and got me hyped up every time, and used to make me forget about all the mental and physical pain my disease caused. Oh, yeah, totally.
I can imagine Haikyuu would do that very well.
Yeah, it's a great escape. You've probably been asked too many times, but would you consider watching Nun Piece? On a side note, laughter has helped me through my years of no friends in middle school. Introvert struggle.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally got you. Nun Piece is the abridged One Piece. It's by Codement, the Codement people.
The Codement people.
I don't know. I will look into it. But if anything, it would probably just be something we would watch on an afternoon at some point. We wouldn't really react to it or anything. Well, I mean, just look at Luffy's wide, goofy smile. How can you not smile as well? Well said, Ramis. Well said. If you're stressed, just watch Agretsuko. Oh, right, the heavy metal fox. So you guys were talking about Toradora. It's homecoming season right now, but my friend is trying to ask out someone I'm close with and have a crush on. I don't know what to do, and I feel like Minorin. Help!
Oh boy. So all is fair in love and war. Ask them out first.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
and then there you go.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a scary thing, but I'll just tell you, if you feel like you want to ask them out, then I give more power to you. Because like, go beyond, plus ultra.
Right. And
grit those teeth, you know.
And if you like the person and you don't ask them out or anything like that, and then the other person asks them out, I could be wrong, you know, because I don't know you and all that, but I get the feeling, like, I would personally feel a lot worse if I didn't take the leap, and now they're going to the dance with someone else. Whereas if I did take the leap, and maybe they weren't interested or whatever, like, even if I got shot down, getting shot down would suck, but I wouldn't feel as bad about them being with the friend of mine. You know, like, if that makes sense. I don't know if that works for you or not, but
well, good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, that's rough.
Oh,
that's rough, buddy.
Marsh Comes In Like a Lion is one of the best examples in how to handle mental health and to deal with people which have some problems near you, like listening to them and just being there for them. I mean, just look at the Hina arc.
Yes. Yeah. The Hina arc, and just generally every time that Rei would go into the Kawamoto's house, and the way the Kawamoto's house is represented, because the thing is that the Kawamotos are not perfect. They have tons of problems that they need to work on themselves and things like that. But the way that just being there for someone and having that sense of normalcy can be huge.
Maybe we'll see the 1999 Hunter x Hunter. Who knows? The shows that help me mentally are those that regard needs. Since I am one of someone who basically always got amazing grades in school, I'm not able to enter college because of my choice of high school. It forces me to take the only discipline I'm not good at, and because of it I don't have enough points to enter, and only this year, after 6 years of trying, I found out it's because I'm kind of dyslexic and the exams should be easier for me. Hey, well, we're watching
Welcome to the NHK.
Welcome to the NHK after Hinamatsuri. So get hyped for those
That's
reactions
all about
if you want to check those out. Those will be coming out on Thursdays soon. I think it's good to watch it and then read it after, since the anime and manga are so different. Are you talking about Hunter x Hunter, Veperud? Let me see.
Or A Silent Voice?
Oh, Tokyo Ghoul. Have you guys already watched Tokyo Ghoul? No, we have not watched Tokyo Ghoul.
We have the manga.
We have the manga. If anything, we'll probably end up reading that at some point. Let's see here. The Danger Zone. Thank you for introducing me to Haikyuu, guys. Without your reactions, I would have steered away from it, and it turned out to be one of my all-time favorites. No show gets close to making me grin like an idiot, like Hinata and Kageyama bickering.
Yeah.
Ow! Yes!
Yeah.
Our boys come pre-packaged for shipping even, and I'm not even talking, I'm not a shipper at all, but I just love the way that Haikyuu characters just come in sets of 2, because they're basically like set to be like their character dynamics all just kind of working out and stuff like that. And then there's the triumvirate. Well, no, technically I guess Asahi and Nishinoya come in their package, whereas Suga and Asahi Dadchi. Yeah. Yes, I had to think about his meme name first.
Right. Yeah.
Like Suga Mom and Dad. Who's Dad? Dadchi. That's right. Yes. They're all fantastic. Even Akashi and freaking, Trash Boy Kawa, for real. An anime that's helped me out, even though it's only on its 9th episode, is Given. It's a music romance anime that deals with depression, suicide, grief, and learning how to be happy again. I've cried so many sad and happy tears while watching it.
Wow.
Manga is infinitely better, though. Okay, oh wait, no, that's someone else. Okay. Thank you, Suffer Girl. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I've never heard of that one before. What's this one here?
Wait, where to go?
Yeah, where to go? Was a message. It disappeared. Oh no.
Wait.
I hope I didn't accidentally delete it.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah,
Comic Spooks.
Not an anime, but a recent manga. Shimaname Tasugare was let me question my gender and sexuality in a very gentle, kind way. Let me feel okay with questioning that stuff and not having answers to having them right now. Like a valve was opened and all that pressure inside me was let out. That's awesome.
Great. Yeah. Getting things where it basically allows you to ask more questions about things are really good. Because I would say when you feel pressured to the point where you can't ask questions about something, that's unhealthy. Wait. Always two there are, no more, no less. Wait. Andrew, what is that in reference to? Just out of context Star
talking
Wars
about a Silent Voice and Domekano at the same time? I don't know.
Hey, GB DeLeon, just wanted to show love for A Place for the Universe. I watched this when I was deciding to change careers, but I wish I could do something amazing like chase after Antarctica.
Yep.
Hey, chase after just whatever you're passionate about, and try to rope some other people into it.
That was one of the things I actually forgot to mention. The reason for me what A Place for the Universe was that, like, because the whole process of writing battle lines was really rough, like, because it felt like I would put my heart and soul into it in order to like finish a draft, right? Because that would take a bunch of time, and then it's like, okay, you need to start all over again, and that was really hard, considering that it's like, you don't really get the actual like positive reinforcement off of the work,
right?
Like for a 3-year stretch, right? That's really rough, especially when it's something that you need to push forward yourself. Like there's nothing else like making you do it. And with A Place for the Universe, the way the characters were just willing to dream, it was like, man, like, because there were so many points where I would get down on myself and I would forget what it was like to dream, and the idea that there's a reason I'm doing this, and that it's not just that I'm doing this because I really want to, not just because it's a thing that I need to do in order to let my identity be solidified in that I was not one of those people that gave up, kind of a thing. And that was incredibly helpful for me.
Awesome. Oh, MJ was talking about Haikyuu. Oh, the two characters, always two. Gotcha.
I see.
Hey, Bloodhawk Flock in the house. How's it going? Given helped me through a lot. Another way is having a great support system. Cool.
Yes,
yeah.
support systems are super important.
Good to see you again.
Okay,
Pepper,
Given.
damn, 2:18 a.m. here in Finland. You guys really make ignoring being tired easy. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of
Make
you.
sure to get plenty of sleep, though.
Yes. Oh, wait. Soul Fountain saying the reason why Agretsuko is good is because of the way it is able to relate to the older audience so well. Around 20 to 50-year-old people can totally relate to most of the episodes of the show. 10 out of 10 would recommend it.
Okay.
Hey,
cool.
That's something to think about. We are in now that age range.
Yeah.
I mean, we always were when we started the channel and stuff. Oh my gosh. So let's go down here. Tade22 already asked Jake about this, but have you guys heard of Danganronpa? And I think it will be a great game for both of you guys to play on stream. Look it up. Yeah, we are aware of Danganronpa.
Very familiar.
Very familiar. Yeah.
As much as you can be without having played something.
Exactly. Also, is it just me, or is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas a very slept-on show? It's a movie, but it's we've seen it actually. We watched it with our VIPs on Patreon.
Yeah, and it's great.
It is a good movie.
Yep.
It was very, I would say, simple, but it had a lot of emotion, a lot of stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's very similar to Silent Voice. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a movie, not a show. No worries. Patrick goes, Finland. Ya old geezers. I mean, I'm 28, y'all. Do I look 28? I freaking feel like 19 sometimes.
Oh, man.
But oh, man.
The unstoppable march of time.
Right. Finland Saga. Nice. Oh, you recommend Given too. It's airing this anime season. You can put it in the poll later. I bet you're going to like it too. Okay. Good to know.
I've never heard about it before today, but apparently it's really
Sidorak.
good.
I would highly recommend you guys check out Fruits Basket 2019. Oh, not the old one, when you get the chance. The show's depictions of social issues such as bullying, isolation, and acceptance are some of the best that I have seen in storytelling, with the wholesomeness presentation just elevating it even more. Also, the character writing is amazing as well, with almost every character having at least one aspect and flaw to them that I can relate to in some respect. Now, Jacob, You're going to laugh at this, but I was actually told about Fruits Basket, the original, before I knew about anime, really.
Really?
Well, before I watched my first anime.
Well, yeah, because even though I never watched Fruits Basket, I was aware of Fruits Basket and things like that. Not before anime, but...
But did you know that one of our foster brothers...
Yes.
Fruits Basket was his favorite show.
Yep.
Like his favorite animated show.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things.
I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, it was
time.
I can't remember where he found it, whether it was on like Amazon or Netflix or something like that. And he
wasn't even Netflix. It was so long ago, dude.
Yeah. Well, no. But there was a point where he was like, "Oh man, they have Fruits Basket," and I was like, "Fruits Basket?
Right.
What's that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, it's an anime." He's like, "Oh, this is one of the best shows out there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay."
And I was 16 or 15 at the time, or what have you, and yeah. I'm 41. You are both babies to me. All right. There you go. We have okay. Totally.
Oh yes, we have heard about Carol and Tuesday. Yeah.
Yes. We've definitely heard about that. Yeah. It's a bit sad that a lot of anime movies get overlooked. Maquia last year made me really start looking for them more. Maquia was amazing.
There are a lot of great anime movies out there.
Maquia
Another one
good.
that I will say that's really good that you can't really know anything about going into it is In This Corner of the World. It came out in the same year as A Silent Voice in Your Name, so or in the same general time, because I think Your Name was technically the year before, at the end. But so it went very undiscovered. It's a very slow, somber kind of a movie, but it's really good. In This Corner of the World. It's also on Netflix, but don't look up anything about it.
Fruits Basket remake. It's like FMAB, more respectful to the manga, and the mangaka is working together with the staff on this remake.
Okay, cool. Because one of the things that makes me kind of hesitant with the Fruits Basket remake is that, especially with reacting to it and stuff, is that it might be something that I don't have a lot of the same, feelings that a bunch of people would have about the series because I didn't watch the original. Whereas with something like Attack on Titan, that's sort of I feel like what we didn't have to deal with because we were already such huge fans of Attack on Titan by the time season 2 came around, you know? But so it's tough, like, because yeah, I don't know.
Yes, I ended up going and watching all 3 of the Berserk movies. Yeah, just on my own time. Yeah, and they're pretty good.
Yeah,
they're pretty good. Yeah, they cut out a lot of things, like a lot of things, but some of the movies like have some really cool parts in there where it's like, oh, that was given extra emphasis in the movie as according to the 1997 version. Yeah.
Also, as a guy that doesn't show strong emotions in general, Attack on Titan and its characters have so much personality and express their wishes and dreams with so much passion that it ended up being intoxicating and helped me express myself more openly.
Awesome.
Love you, Erwin. Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Rage, my soldiers. Scream, my soldiers. Fight.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, Jess. Whoa. My mom died when I was 6, and I always felt like I'm less bothered about it than I should be because I don't remember her very much, and I've had a good life, so I feel like I'm supposed to watch things like Place for the Universe and be like, oh god, I miss her, but I don't. But the character wanting to feel connections with her mom and sharing memories and personality traits and things, I felt that. I felt that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's... Wow. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, for sure. The sea. Umida.
Oh, Fruits Basket was totally new to me, and I love the remake a lot.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
Armin has dreams, Dad. Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. And
unlike in Berserk, these are happy dreams.
Oh, man. I cannot wait for your Berserk Volume 40 read-through and Attack on Titan Season 4. Also, Jacob, have you been keeping up with the manga, or have you become anime only now?
That's one of the things that's tough, because I usually would wait like several months in between so I'd have a few chapters to read, but now it's like, wait a minute, if there's only one season left, like theoretically, if I waited long enough, I could be anime only again, which is a concept.
Unless the manga goes beyond Season 4 in terms of content, then you would have to be a manga person in order to finish it.
There is no way they're doing an anime original ending for Attack on Titan. I'm sorry. Like, I'm
not saying anime original ending. I'm saying that it's a, now go read the manga. Like,
no.
You don't think Attack on Titan will do that?
No, they already did that with season 1. Like, you don't get a more go read the manga ending than the ending of season 1.
Because we had to wait 4 years.
4 years. Well, in the whole, Titans in the walls and whatnot. Like, are you kidding me?
But Sherlock didn't have to wait that long.
Yeah, Sherlock season 3 came faster than Attack on Titan season 2. But so I don't know. I've been kind of putting it off and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 4 is going to be the last season.
Season 4 will be the last season, yeah.
I could hear, and I'd be blind for probably like the last third of the season, I'm guessing.
Oh, Attack on Titan manga is 100% going to end next year. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Then they'll do a full 2-cour, probably Attack on Titan season 4, and then we'll be done. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't want a Berserk ending for Attack on Titan. No
way.
No one wishes Berserk endings upon their anime. No.
4 years. Wow, Berserk fan.
Yes.
Berserk fans have been waiting for 20 years for Casca to get better.
True. Oh, man. Have you guys heard about Origaru, My Teen Romantic Snafu?
Yes,
it's an
I have
anime
heard about that.
lonely... What is that? An anime about lonely teens and teens issues in general in high school, and I used and still do relate to it very much. The main character is kind of rebellious and edgy at the beginning, and we see him evolve and create relationships throughout the anime. It's so amazing that I still don't know why it has never been in a poll. By the way, the season 3 is coming this year or in 2020. Well, thank you, Traff Studio. Appreciate the shout out for an anime that I think I've heard about, but I don't think I've looked at with anticipation necessarily. Guys, part 1 for season 3 after ED Forced me to go over the edge into manga territory.
Yeah, I mean, how could you
that
not?
makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, from Cyrus. Recently, I've been reading a manga called "Eating Crab with Yukiona."
Sorry, let me put that there. There we go. And thank you for the 100 bits, Cyrus.
Yeah, it's about a man seriously wanting to kill himself, ending up in a sort of sexual relationship with a rich married woman, postponing his suicide after they ate crab.
Whoa.
Seeing him try to deal with his desires, self-imposed doubt, and guilt, while also at the same time slowly opening back up to people in general, makes this manga one of the hardest hitting mentally for me.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa, what a specific story, but that sounds compelling.
Yeah.
Like very mature subject matter and stuff, so there's probably some really good internal state kind of monologue type stuff that you can go into there. Well, thanks for the recommendation for that. Eating crab with a Yukiona. Huh. Would you prefer Attack on Titan to end like Monty Python's Life of Brian?
No.
No.
God, no.
Also, what's your opinions on Monty Python?
Love Holy Grail.
Like, I love so many of their skits. Like,
oh yeah, their skits are great too.
Like, I love the one where it's like, hey, yeah, I'd like to have an argument. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, I see. Yes.
It's like, all right, time's up. What? No, it's only been like 5 minutes. It's been a solid half hour.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Or the buying the cheese.
Yes, the cheese one. But, oh my god, I love Monty Python skits.
But I think to this day, my favorite Monty Python skit is King Arthur talking with the peasants in Holy Grail. It's just so good. It's so ahead of its time, and oh man, it's wonderful.
Oh, Bloodhog Fog with the 500 bits. Hey, thank you so much for old time's sake. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it, bro. Bloodhog Fog, you mad lad. You are still a legend in our mind. Just those berserk moments. We still have the memes and everything with like the sword and giving up and the what's it?
Skull Knight coming in.
Skull Knight coming in. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Oh man. All right, have a good one, Jess. See ya. All right. Tay22. Do you guys have plans on watching Yu Yu Hakusho? It's a story Togashi created before Hunter x Hunter.
So here's the thing. We have people very close to us.
Close to us.
Who make sure to shill Yu Yu Hakusho to us at basically every chance they can get.
Yep.
So we are very much aware of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is it's a long show. So we have to have to make sure we don't put in too many long shows at the same time.
We don't necessarily... Right. Plans for reacting to it?
We'll see.
Debatable. We'll see.
We'll see.
Because one of the other things we've heard is that it's not as consistently good as Hunter x Hunter. So like there are certain parts where it's like, yes, definitely watch this, and then it's like, this part, maybe. Yeah. But
for sure.
Yeah.
There's one meme on our Silmarillion memes depicting Dennis, the mud-loving peasant, arguing with Galadriel on the right to rule.
Yes, that is amazing.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Since you're a sub, you should have access to the Discord. You should post that in the memes section of the Discord and then tag us or something. That sounds awesome. Gotta go to sleep now. Thanks for the stream. You guys always seem to put a smile on my face. Also, the topic was really good. Wish more streamers were like you guys and did these kind of real talk streams. Have a great day over there. Thank you, Veperude. Have a good one from you're in Finland. Yeah. Have a good sleep. The Berserk manga also handles mental health in an interesting way. Guts' mental state and actual guilt and negative thoughts manifesting in a formative entity, kind of emphasizing just how much it affected Guts.
Right, and that's like, and as much as we might decry or make fun of the whole inner demon, for like a lot of the edgelord characters, or for like like with Bleach, for instance, even though I think Bleach actually did it fairly well with considering one of the best characters was the actual inner demon, but that's something that there's a reason that is such a successful trope, because you can do amazing things with it like that.
Gotcha. Yes, 2 years of Hajime no Ippo. Oh boy, yes, exactly. Yeah. It's a long
and by the
show.
time we actually finish JoJo's, that'll be what, 4 years?
Well, how long will it have been?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, because the thing is,
it's ending. We've got part 5, and that's the only anime left.
Right.
Oh, you're meaning
but
when we've caught up to wherever
we've caught up to part 5,
how long will it have been?
How long will that have been?
No, not that long.
Well,
not that long. No. No, part 5 isn't that long.
Well, if it's 3 core.
Yeah.
And then
I'm pretty sure it's 3 core.
3 core, and then for part 4, and then
you want to just do the math here?
For part 3, and then 2 core for the others. That's 12 cores. That's 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, not 4 years.
3 years, okay.
Yeah.
And if part 6 happens to start animating, getting released by the time before we're finished with part 5.
God, I would love
JoJo's
if, like,
forever.
I would love if on some level, like, because I think this should happen. Like, if we think of, like, this is about to not be a mental health stream talk anymore, but I just want to briefly mention this. On some level, I wonder if the anime community has been boosted in the rewatching of certain shows because of reactions in general. Like, the whole reaction community has gotten people to rewatch certain things so many times, but because we're all, like, for the most of us at least, cutting down our footage, they'll still want to go back and rewatch the show, you know, like the full things there. They get the highlights and stuff from there, but but the thing of, like, oh, I'm gonna go rewatch now, you know, part 2 of JoJo's. I really loved part 2, or you know, I really loved the last, like, you know, 13 episodes of part 3 or something like that. Like, I wonder if the anime community has received a bump in their numbers in general, so they're like, yeah, keep pushing out this show. This one's getting a lot of, you know, traction or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how the anime community works and how much they want to do, like, parts of JoJo's quickly or something like that. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of part 2, so some people that I've been talking with and stuff, they were like, hey, I got a Discord set up for them and everything, so we could all, like, you know, like, hang out and talk and stuff, you know.
Sweet.
And one of them was like, ooh, challenge, post a picture of your workspace, right? And it was a bunch of people. It was a bunch of people taking pictures of, you know, their offices or whatever, things like that. And then here it's like, okay, take a picture just right here with
this
fabulous
right
Joseph Joestar mouse pad. And
I was like, Jacob, are you really gonna take a picture with that in there? And he's like, yes, I am. Absolutely.
And they don't know that they don't know what I do. So it's great. I'm wondering who will first comment on it and be like, interesting. Yeah, tequila Joseph, best girl.
Oh my god, yeah. Trash Gone. This rewatching stuff with reactors can actually be a real pain when you can't find good reactors who are reacting to the show you want to rewatch. Well, that's where a semblance of sanity comes in, and we'll watch all the good anime eventually. So the point is that there will be a time in the future where all the good stuff will be made aware there. Mods. I'm scrolling up. What? I saw just mods being posted there. So did someone say something there? Oh god, actually we are modless on this stream. We're flying blind here.
No protection.
Oh crap. I think what it was we started mentioning, like, part 6 of JoJo's. And someone said something someone said something.
It steered the conversation that way.
Yeah, okay. Hey, wait, hold on. GB Delion, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
Yes.
Appreciate it very much. And y'all, it is September again, so half off your subs if you go through PC, you know, regular subbing thing there. But a cool thing is that by supporting us in any way via Patreon or Twitch subbing, you get access to our private Discord. So make sure to sync up your Twitch accounts and your Discord accounts, and you can get into our Discord there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. One other one on the whole idea of the mental health thing, and this was kind of a more in, like, a specific way, but with the Haruhi franchise, one of the things that was really, like, a lot of a struggle for me with the whole idea of feeling like I needed to be perfect and stuff was this idea that I wanted to have a life that was exciting and stuff, and I couldn't stand the idea of staying, and I'm still like that, but I'm, you know, learning to handle that in a healthier way. But the way they juxtaposed in that series, and even more so in the movie, the whole idea of the exciting that disrupts your life, you know, the exciting that you're not happy for, right? That you kind of complain about. In the show, that was really big for me. I related to that a lot. But then later, when it came to the movie, and then the struggle is, are you okay with having a normal life?
Sure.
Because that is a question that I have asked myself so many times, and I've wanted to, like, reconcile with myself of, like, hey, you know, like the Iroh kind of lessons of, like, is it okay to, you know, a life of you know, happiness and love and things like that.
Yeah.
When you decide upon Queensblade, Jacob, it will fulfill your armor preference, and it does not lack plot. Okay, good to know. All right.
Hey, see you later, Danger Zone. Good night, guys. Thank you for the nice talk. Helped me a lot. See you in Heaven's Arena Final. Zeeks represent. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We need a culture emote for the subs. Hey, you know what? I'm actually in talks with someone right now for new sub badges. So these are like beyond the first 4 magnet ones.
Oh my.
So those of you that have your golden magnet, soon you might be getting something a little bit more upgraded, if you will.
Unlimited magnet works.
Unlimited magnet works. And then also, I'm going to hint about this because this is something that is in the planning stages at this point. But do you see one of the emotes that shows Jacob and he's got the like face, you know?
Oh.
Where it's basically he's looking at chat and going, what are you guys doing? There might be a new line of emotes coming that are more anime Caleb and Jacob faces.
Oh, really?
Anime themed Caleb and Jacob faces for all your specific needs. So if you have specific faces that you would like to see in an anime form, share them in our Discord page. We have an SOS emotes kind of submissions thing there. A semblance of sanity gasm face. Oh, you know it.
We're
like,
already getting
now, like, yeah, these ones there exactly are going to be some of the first ones to get basically upgraded to anime form.
Also, Ameju, so something tells me Jacob does LARPing in cardboard armor. I don't quite do that, but
No.
But there was a point where literally there was like some event, and it was like you're supposed to show up in like a sci-fi costume. I literally took duct tape and tint film stuff for like lights, and made a full suit of cardboard armor, like legit cardboard armor.
It was awesome.
And went to the event in it, and it was great. No one else actually really was doing sci-fi stuff. They would just tie like tinsely ribbons around, their arms or things like that. It was very disappointing, but yeah. I also found out that I have a cardboard allergy, but yeah.
Don't cut yourself with cardboard. It does weird things. Whatever it's like.
Yeah.
Whatever it does. But it happened to me. When I scratched myself accidentally with cardboard stuff that was on like my shoulder or whatever here, it like my skin got all puffy and stuff. It was very, very weird.
Yep.
But all the emotes, exactly. I will give you more info on that when things are a little bit more solidified. I'm more working with the artist on the style right now.
So it's Gal face soon.
Oh, but hey, this is where get discussing it in the Discord. SOS emotes channel. That's where you guys can discuss it and stuff as to what things would make good sense, because we don't have the knowledge of what the dank meme culture or meme emoji culture of Twitch is. So yeah.
Yes, I feel like the Ghibli movies are very healing and help me sometimes when I feel stressed out. Ramiz, I totally feel ya. Yeah. Ghibli movies are amazing for that.
We're gonna answer a few more questions here, and then we're gonna head off. I'm gonna post a few Lord of the Rings Silmarillion memes on Discord. You guys should check out that subreddit. Okay.
All right.
We need an I emote. Okay. Bloodhog Flock. At a reunion, my former classmates asked me if I was happy getting my PhD. I didn't have an answer for them because I wasn't sure if my hard work was worth it when I had just lost my job. Depression definitely makes you question a lot about your choices. Just know that y'all matter. Yep. Hey, you matter too. You matter too, buddy. And yeah. Like, in a lot of ways, a lot of the things that we do over the course of time where we invest tons of passion and energy into specific things, we don't know how it's all going to work out in the end. But the fact that we have people around us that can basically encourage us in the present moment when we're dealing with that kind of retroactive look back at our lives and go, was all that stuff worth it? Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
And of course, when I agree that Ghibli movies are really relaxing, someone's like, yeah, Grave of Fireflies really chills me out. Well,
wow. I'm just gonna lie here and go to sleep,
I made rice balls.
Yeah. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, people were talking
Anyways.
about this in the OP Spoilers channel. How about at the end of the One Piece stream, you guys watch a 2-minute anime clip submitted by Discord showing the highlight moment of the volume? Oh, for this next volume coming up?
Or just in general as like a thing for...
I think it's for this specific volume coming up.
Oh.
But I'll reach out
it's
to
an
people
idea.
on Discord and
Yeah.
see what that's all about, Sularon. But yeah, you're on there as well, so I can tag you as well. Yeah. Now, one more annoying recommendation. SOS Bros Jacob Nutt wrote
Wait, hold on a second.
Fun.
Chernobyl.
Oh, that was my mouse was over the emote. And I just read
One more annoying recommendation. SOS Jacob Nutt. Oh, great recommendation.
Another recommendation was for Chernobyl. It's 3.6 Röntgen's worth of fun. Wow.
I believe that's where the term slaw is very applicable, right?
Oh man. Okay. Next volume is my top 5 in the series. Just a heads up.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Well, all right. I almost feel like we don't want to hear anything more than that.
Nothing
because
more. This is a good time to end the stream,
Yep,
y'all.
uh-huh.
Thank you so much for going with us on our talk through this very important subject and giving us your feedback, recommendations, and also just sharing your stories. Guys, it's really, really awesome to be able to have this connection with y'all through this, interwebs space of Twitch and what have you. But hope to see you all in the future streams. Make sure to leave a follow if you want to stay updated and all that stuff. All our streams are at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Right.
Pacific West time. Same thing. But tomorrow we've got One Piece manga review streams, 3 p.m. of course. And on Thursdays, Jacob Gaming, and on Fridays, Caleb Gaming.
And for this Thursday, I may end up doing something different.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm going through Tales of Berseria on Fridays right now. Having a lot of fun. Still haven't gotten my full party yet, but been figuring out a lot of things with the combat system, and it's gotten pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, hope to see you all in a future stream. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.
Whew.
So now, when people ask us about, what's the positive gain thing that they can have, their mental state and stuff, we forgot to mention how Battle Lines actually gives a lot of really good opportunities.
Hold on now. This is a very serious stream. Battle Lines is amazing, but I don't feel like it should necessarily be shilled as something to help you when you're in a
that is true.
bad place mentally.